the Sanders trade. He had one catch in a couple of those games. Was your guys' relationship pretty solid in terms of open communication about what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I had a great talk with him when he left here. I'm excited for him and his new opportunity, and I appreciate the relationship and everything it was. Like I said a couple times, he was a warrior, he was a pro, and he worked his butt off. It's just kind of where we're at, and kind of as you're building things, it's not always as simple as that. What happens, you know? You got to look at the film and all that stuff. But he's a wideout, and he's a great one, and he's going to help the Niners greatly.
How much does your offense change with him not here, or is it just simply next man up?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you lose a good player, you got to find a way to put it back together. And I think we have the kind of people we can do that with. It may not be one guy filling the role, but there's definitely multiple guys that can do things that we're excited about. And I think it'll show up on Sunday.
What kind of strides have you seen from Deshaun, even though his numbers haven't been great?
I mean, it's hard to sit back in his role and kind of accept, how things were when you're that third option, kind of the way it's played out. But and you're trying to get the backs and different people involved. But I think he's ready for the opportunity, and I think he's had the right attitude, and he's approached it like a pro every day, and excited to see what he does.
They kind of echoed that sentiment yesterday of by committee behind Portland. At least in this first game against Indy, is that going to give your offense the opportunity to maybe get some things past Indy's defense with them maybe not knowing who your weapons are going to be behind Portland?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Who's going to play and how the reps and all that is to your advantage moving into this game. But yeah, I mean, in the end, our roster, each guy everyone has different traits, and I'm excited about them, and I'm excited about some of the young guys that are getting opportunities. I think they've worked their butt off to earn it, and I think when we put them out there, they're going to play hard, and they're going to make plays, and they're going to help us win games. So to our advantage. I don't know how much, but definitely, and at least for the first quarter.
Rich, how did you divvy up the protection issues when you looked at it?
I divvied it up to a complete issue with the entire offense. That's me on down through. I think you got to give the Chiefs a lot of credit. They got after us. They were definitely the better unit, and they took the fight to us. But I think that we've responded well this week. I think the coaches, the players, everyone knows that we all have to do our part in that to make it better, whether it's scheme, getting rid of the ball, protecting better, whatever it is. And I get the sense that after today's walkthrough yesterday, we're on the right track.
Has said that Drew Lock is not ready to go yet. What do you need to see from him to instill confidence that he is ready? And what is your hope for him this season?
Yeah, all that, it's right now he's injured, and it's hard to make any of those kind of judgments. I mean, he hasn't done anything in such a long time, and you know how it is. Preseason seems like a lifetime ago. So as he gets back into the swing of things and we see where he's at, obviously you'd have a better feel for where he's at. But he's a rookie in this league who hasn't played a snap, who's got a lot to learn. So we're excited about him. We'll see where it goes.
What have you made of Drew's strides off the practice field? That's far.
Yeah, I think that whole entire room, they're good for each other. They work well together. They approach it the right way. It's as a young player, you have to sponge up what you can from the people around you. And Joe's been a good mentor. Brandon's experiences add to it, and you have to be taking notes and squeezing everything out of those opportunities. And for what he's been able to do, I think he's done that.
What are the primary ways he needs to improve?
The primary he needs. I mean, a lot of it is just your young quarterback that hasn't taken any snaps in the NFL, and it's the single toughest job to do well on the planet. I'll put it against anything. You got to have all the traits, and it includes experience. And when you played in a certain type of offense and you haven't done anything with any of these players or done in 2 months, I mean, that's hard enough if you're playing every day. You look around the league. I'm looking at that 2017 draft class right now, that all those quarterbacks, it's just hard. So you want to make sure a guy develops in the right way, and he's doing those things.
What does Tim Patrick add to this offense? What is going to come back for you?
Yeah, Tim was a huge loss early on. He's versatile, he's smart, he could play all the positions, and I thought he showed well last year. He's a confident player. You can feed off of that. He's tough. He does all the things you ask. He's a complete player. So I think getting him back in time will really help the offense.
When your offensive tackles were struggling like last week, how much does it change your offense if you say, hey, we got to give them some help in the form of a running back or a tight end?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be creative with how you do all those things. You have to protect them where you can with chips and all the ways that people do in the NFL. But defensive coordinators know that too. And once you make one move, they counteract it. So you're always trying to be a step ahead, but also be versatile enough and smart enough where you're giving them the best opportunity to be successful. So it is a delicate. It's not an easy answer. There's no direct answer to that one, other than the fact that it's all of us doing our part, and we got to be creative how we put it together.
You've said how important it is for a young quarterback to sit and develop in terms of their learning process, not rush them back. What's an ideal amount of time for a young quarterback?
I think it's different for every player. Some guys it takes. I mean, Aaron Rodgers had the luxury of sitting for a couple of years. Like that doesn't happen very often. But the reality of it is if you rush someone in any position, regardless of who they are or what position they play in this NFL, it will chew you up and spit you out. And it's tough enough to do it with a really group of guys that's been together a long time that you worked with, let alone to be thrown in there. It's just very difficult. So you want to be careful, and every guy's different.
I know Joe's a veteran, and he probably has a good understanding of how he can improve after taking those 8 sacks, but what conversations did you have with him about maybe improving on the pocket awareness and the hot reads?
Yeah, it was a conversation I had with him. It's a conversation we had with the entire offense. It's everyone can look at that film and see where all of us, from the play calls to the players to the receiver getting open to Joe to everybody, to the line, tight ends, everyone involved can look at something, and there was plenty to do better that will result in us being a better pass protection team. And Joe was a big part of it, and we had our conversation like we do every week. We look at every play individually, and we see how we can do it better, how we can get better, and we fight to get better.
When you have a game like that,
What's that?
when you have a game like that, where do you personally begin? Are you back here right after the game looking at film, or what's your process?
Well, this one was unique because it was a Thursday. So, yeah, we were in the next day, and, yeah, it's nothing – it's all you think about. It's all you come in, you reflect. Fortunately, we had a little extra time to self-evaluate too. But, it's unfortunate how it did. They whipped their butt. You can't put anything past Kansas City and how it played out. What I will say is this, whether you're scoring 50 or you're scoring 6, you can't knee-jerk either way. You got to look at the facts. You got to look at the real problems. You got to study it, and you got to get better at it. And in the end, if we continue to do that, who knows what could happen this week, and we can have a whole different conversation. So that's the way you got to approach it, be positive, and find solutions.
How do you think Fat will bounce back?
Yeah, Noah's he's a grinder. He's a hard worker. He's done a lot of good things. It's unfortunate some of the things that, played out, but I know this. He's inside. He's got what it takes. That's why he's here. That's why I know he'll be successful. And, I hate to always compare him to Kittle, but I 10 drops that first year. Like, I remember watching it and a guy going, can this guy be the guy? And now he's the best tight end in the league. So if a guy's got it inside, you believe in him. And I have no doubt he'll get it done.
Last one, please. Rich, Emmanuel wasn't bashful, we all know that.
Mhm.
And we also know he had a discussion with Elway after the Tennessee game. How often did you discuss these things with Emmanuel? Did you guys ever butt heads? Was there ever any tete-a-tete going on here?
Not at all. Honestly, Emmanuel was a pro, and I appreciate him. He was a great player in this league, an important part of it. We're just a young team, and, he's a veteran that wants to win, and he's competitive by nature. And that's what you love about him. It's what it's got him to where he's at. And I'm happy for him. He's with my guys that I love to death, that outside of this building I want to see win every week. And he's going to help them win a lot of games, and I'm happy for him and them. And it's just part of the business.
Did Kyle call you and ask you about that?
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that, but he wouldn't. Yes, we have a very close – we talk every week, Kyle and I. So
Okay, thank you, Rich.
Thanks.